Hello, everybody.
We're now live streaming on YouTube. This is Judge Dulce Madrigal. I'm hearing cases today for Hays County on Thursday, September 12th, 2024 by Zoom. I will now call the cause number 210529. Present are both the non-custodial parent and custodial parent. Mr. Acco, go ahead and announce yourself with your full legal name.
Calabaya Fairman Acco.
Thank you. And same for you, Ms. Garcia Acco.
Tina Marie Garcia Acco.
I need to swear you all in. If you raise your right hands, both of you for me. Do each of you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, starting with you, sir?
Yes.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. You're aware that I'm an associate judge. I've been appointed to hear the cases filed by the Attorney General's Child Support Unit. Let me move on to Mr. Asif. You've got an opening statement, I assume, for me after announcing yourself, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. This is Maz Asif for the state of Texas. We're here today on the state's suit for modification of support order and motion to confirm support arrearage. Before we get started into terms, I want to discuss the matter of arrears. The state has submitted to this court the financial activity report for this case. And the state's
Did you send it by email?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm not there yet, but when I need to review it, I will take judicial notice that you sent me the pay record. If you want me to review it, you might have to screen share it as the quickest way. Otherwise, I have to stop and open my email and go look at it myself.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
So the state will be asking for a judgment. The state is requesting a judgment on arrears as of August 31st, 2024 of $7,298.71 to be repaid at a rate of $91 a month, with payments to begin on October 1st, 2024. Mr. Acco is not in agreement. He feels he should not have to pay this amount. Ms. Garcia has issues with the judgment date. She wants a judgment date as of September 1st. Okay. Now, with respect to the medical,
why would that matter at all? Do you have any idea, Mr. Asif?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Excuse me. Okay. Ms. Garcia, you don't get to dictate what we do here as far as dates and what have you. You don't lose one single penny whether I do it August 31st or September 1st. September 1st has the new accrual amount, which is, yeah, it might be due if it's due on the 1st, but it's not considered delinquent till the 30th or 31st. And at the end of the month, the interest accrues. So we go to August 31st, they put it on their computer. You haven't lost a penny because September 1st, they'll put the new amounts and it keeps rolling. The computer keeps track of all of that and with interest at the end of every month if there's arrears. So I'm not sure why we're going to have a fight about that, but I just want you to be aware of what the situation is before I cut you off on that, because it doesn't matter what you want and you don't lose a penny. So Mr. Asif, go ahead and finish your opening.
Yes, Your Honor. So with respect to the medical support issue, both Ms. Garcia and Mr. Acco would like the child to be on their health and dental insurance. Ms. Garcia is requesting that the child be on her dental insurance, and then Mr. Acco be ordered to pay cash medical support of $792.08, as well as
cash medical support of how much?
$792.08, Your Honor.
Is that anywhere near the 9% cap or above it?
The states understand. Mr. Acco's position is his gross monthly resources are $3,648 before tax. Based off of that, the 9%, the max if that is true, the max we'd be able to charge for cash medical support would be $328.32.
So there's a dispute about his income, according to.
Yes, Your Honor, there is a dispute.
And is there going to be any real evidence on that, or is it just going to be that he said, she said?
I believe Mr. Acco has a pay stub that he's submitting to the court.
And what does Ms. Garcia have?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Are you prepared to show any evidence of whatever you think he earns, ma'am? Or is it just?
Am I prepared to show? I know absolutely nothing about what he makes, but what I do know is that he has 30 years in a field where he is more than capable of making what he was previously making, if not more.
Okay.
So for him to go and take a job that's less paying than what he was previously making, How is that fair?
Okay, so you're gonna be alleging that he's underemployed because somewhere along the line there is proof that he made more? Is that what you're saying?
Honestly, I have every reason to believe that he was working 2 jobs last time we were actually in court.
This isn't gonna be no 45-minute case, people. And Mr. Acco, if I do agree,
Yes.
if Ms. Garcia prevails and you have the right of appeal, will you be appealing my decision to a higher court, the district court level?
Yep.
Ms. Garcia, if I don't rule your way and Mr. Acco prevails, will you be appealing to a higher court to the
Oh,
district?
I'm not giving in because I'm the one that has been doing everything that a parent should be doing.
Okay, then that's your right and that's your obligation and advocacy, but it seems to me it'd be a waste of my time today to give you 45 minutes, cut you short, and you don't get to tell all of it, and then you lose, one of you's gonna lose, and then you're gonna appeal me anyway. I'm not sure I wanna hear it. Mr. Asif, is there any reason I shouldn't refer it to district court? Because these folks, I believe, if they've been here several times, it's not over with whatever I decide to do today, it looks like. So they're adequate advocates for themselves. I don't see why they can't
Sure.
just take it to the district court level and let somebody up there.
Yeah, Your Honor, the state has no position on that. We're not in favor, nor do we object to a referral to district court.
You know, I usually don't send pro se's over there, but if this is that contested and that what's the word? Well,
Your Honor, if I may, perhaps we could get some temporary orders prior to the referral.
we don't even have temporary orders yet.
We
You
do
have
have temporary orders in place, but perhaps we
place.
can amend the terms to reflect the current situation before referring upwards.
Well, I would consider that if we can squeeze it in the next 40 minutes, okay? But for a final, I would refer it. I'm not hearing this dispute with the right of appeal where y'all are gonna go somewhere else anyway. So I'll let you go there and have one bite at the apple for the final order. Okay, proceed on whatever issues I need to decide on the temporary orders, Mr. Asif. The same day.
Your Honor, there's also some complications here. It's my understanding that Mr. Acco lives in Hawaii. He won't be able to remotely appear in district court in Hays County. So that might be somewhat problematic if we refer to district court. Also, I'm not convinced that the issues are sufficiently complex. That we have some dispute over income, but we can subpoena Mr. Acco's pay stubs and W-2 forms and get to the bottom of that issue. I'm thinking a reset with a priority hearing would be more appropriate.
I would agree with you at this late hour. Did you all get that?
So on
So
that
you
level,
guys are
y'all,
gonna-
Let me start with you, Mr. Acco. Did you get
on
that?
that, yes, but on that level, if I'm making a certain amount that I'm making with my new employer, am I still responsible to pay that $915 a month, which I don't make as much as I did at Whole Foods?
Well, that's the question. The problem is that if you have a history of prior employment at a higher level, why should it go down if
It's-
the argument would be you're underemployed? So I'd have to
It's
hear
not,
that reason.
it has only gone down by $6 per hour. It hasn't gone down drastically. I make $22.15 an hour, and at Whole Foods I make $29 an hour. So it's only went down $6-7. It hasn't gone down drastically on my pay.
Well, I haven't done the math, so I don't know how much $7 roughly, $7.15 difference would result in child support. Because it adds up 40 hours a week for 4.3 weeks per month. So I don't know, sir. So Ms. Garcia, are you
And-
saying one or the other is the right number, or those are both totally off because he does something else that you think he should be doing at this
Whenever
time?
he has a trade in a certain career, or we were together for 22 years. And he was doing that even before we met each other. He's been doing it ever since we've been divorced. So you're looking at about 30 years in this field. There's to be no reason why he cannot continue doing what he's doing, making what he was making.
So what level are you talking about? How much an hour, or what's the math?
I don't know I honestly don't know what he was making.
Well, also,
What,
Your Honor,
hold on, what order are we trying to modify, Mr. Asif? The relevant time period from the last order to now and the changed circumstances?
Yes, Your Honor. So the temporary order, so there's a temporary order in place in this case. Let me just draw the exact dates for you. So we have a temporary order on this modification action that's titled that was signed by this court on February 1st, 2024. My apologies, February 12th, 2024. It's called the Temporary Order Institute for Modification of Support Order and to confirm support arrearage.
Well, that's okay, but that's still part of this lawsuit, which we're trying to modify what order, the final order prior to the
Yes.
temporary order?
So the order prior is the divorce decree. The order prior to that is the divorce decree that was the agreed final degree of divorce. I'm reading it now. It states that the court held this case on June 18th, 2021.
So that's the one we're trying to modify, the divorce of 2021? And they don't have findings about income in that one?
I'm reading it right now, Your Honor.
I assume it's a Hayes County divorce, or no?
Yes, this was in Hayes County.
Okay,
May I say something?
you may as well. What, ma'am?
Whenever the last time that we were seen in your court, you guys had came up with a monthly amount of $915. And then the medical portion, you were stating that if he was to pay if I was to continue to keep them on my insurance, it was close to $500 that he would have been paying. Because you guys was not going to allow him to make that full payment for the medical and dental
It's not us,
expense.
it's the family code that sets the parameters, ma'am. So we try to apply the law because that's our jobs. The state has a position, I may or may not agree with it. You have a position, I may or may not agree with it. But there is a cap on how much is considered reasonable, because you can go get the Cadillac of insurance and ask for $1,000 a month, but if the income is not there to support it as far as his income and the 9% gross of his income, that's what I'm required to follow. So just so you're aware of that. So what was your point of the temporary order?
What was pretty much set with the last court order, the temporary order. I'm asking that stays in place.
$915 in child support and $500 in medical support? Is that what you
Yes.
just, is that the case in that temporary order, Mr. Asif?
Yeah, those are the terms of the temporary order. That's correct.
Oh, and so it's Mr. Akko that wants some relief, whether it's temporary or final. And is he the one that's missing the documentation that you said we still need? You don't have W-2s or prior income from since the divorce?
Not from his
Can I
current
say
employer,
something,
Your
Ron?
Honor.
Not from his what?
Not from his current employer, Your Honor. We don't have anything with respect to that.
Well, it seems to me she's
I
arguing
just-
that he's underemployed, so all the income since the divorce is necessary to determine if he had a higher income and then is underemployed or not. But you wouldn't
And
have,
also, Your Honor, we're in.
Mr.
that was in
Asif, you wouldn't
Texas, and
have
it's
the W-2s or tax returns from what year was it? 2021, mid 2021 forward?
Reviewing our records, Your Honor, I don't believe we have. Oh, I see we have some pay stubs from 2023.
But you don't have, is there a reason there's no tax returns been brought by Mr. Akko?
I'm not. Oh, here we go. Okay, Your Honor, I see a W-2. Okay, I see a W-2 for the year of 2023 for
What
Mr.
about
Akko.
2022 and 2020?
So I have the W-2 for 2023 as well as a pay stub from dated August 25th, 2023.
But you don't have a W-2 or tax return for 2022?
Not for 2022, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, what'd you want to say, Mr. Akko, before I rudely interrupted you?
So the pay. No, I'm sorry, Your Honor. The pay from California and Texas is different than the pay here in Hawaii. So the pay for a meat cutter, I was making good money because my job title was a meat manager. And if there's no opportunity for a meat manager and the pay is different from California and Texas to Hawaii, the pay is a lot lower here in Hawaii. And there's not that much openings and opportunity for me to be a meat manager, considering there's like 1 million people on an island. So for me to go get a meat cutter job, the pays it's not going to be the same as the mainland. And what I was making in the mainland in Texas and California was wages as a meat manager, not a meat cutter. And honestly, what I'm making now, $22.15, is about the average as a meat cutter.
And
A
why?
meat cutter
Let's
here
just
only
find
makes
out. Why'd you
$22
move to
an hour.
Hawaii? What was required that you had to leave the mainland to go back to Hawaii?
Why did I go back to Hawaii to start a new life in Hawaii?
Cause what?
Me and my girlfriend decided to move to Hawaii. We decided to, start a life in Hawaii. So we went in Hawaii, and
I can't-
had a
I can't
job
hear you
at
anymore,
Foodland as
Mr.
a store
Octo.
director, and that didn't.
I missed some of your
Yes, can you hear
testimony
me?
because it was being staticky or garbled or something. It wasn't coming through clear. I didn't.
So your question is why did I move from Texas to go to Hawaii? Is because me and my girlfriend currently made a decision to move to Hawaii.
And you knew it was going to be a lower pay rate, or even with the
No,
higher cost of living, probably?
It wasn't a lower pay rate. It was about the same pay rate, because I went in at that time when we moved, I went as a store director at Foodland, and that did not work out with store director at Foodland. And then I went on and I went to another job at Whole Foods, which I got terminated, and I got a lawsuit against them. But that's where I'm at. And then right now, Mrs. Garcia is asking me for arrears just to plead my case. As far as April, the ending of April, I had a heart attack. So April the 30th, I had an open heart surgery that was not released from my doctor, from my physician, to August the 5th. I could not go to work. I could not retain work because, like I said, on April the 30th, I had a major open heart surgery.
Okay, I've heard enough complications that I don't think I'm going to be able to start and finish. I'm trying to get to the bottom line with y'all's arguments, but it's real clear to me that one, if she wants more because she thinks you're underemployed, then we need your wage information for all those years. Half of 21 after the divorce, all of 22 and 23, and whatever you have through 24. I need to see that. Did you file tax returns for the last 3 years?
No, I have not.
Were you employed at a salaried position?
Yes, I was. I did not file taxes.
So you got W-2s for each
Yes.
of those years?
Yes.
Why didn't you file for tax returns?
I just didn't file. There's no excuse for me.
But you can retrieve 2021 W-2, 2022 W-2, and 2023 W-2s? I think
I can't get it right. I can't get it right now, but I can do my homework and get it.
And for
21, but
for 2024, whatever your comeback date is, you can get your last pay stub before you come back to court with the year-to-date information?
I told the attorney that I took a screenshot that I could send it to his phone with my screenshot, and he would have my current pay stub. For some reason, it's not going through with the email, but I took a screenshot, and I just said if he supply me with his cell phone, I can screenshot him my current pay stub.
Is there any other way to do it, Mr. Asif?
Your Honor, I would rather not disclose my personal cell phone number.
No.
Because what I make is, like I said, I make $900 something a month gross. After $200 taken out of taxes, my net is only $700 and something a week. That's all I bring home. That is it. I mean, I don't bring them anymore. I bring them in. That's what I make every single week.
Okay, that's your argument for another day. I'm trying to figure out how we can get not the screenshot, but your actual pay stub. You can't scan it.
I mean, I can try to email it again, Your Honor, but like I said,
how are you going to get the W-2s? How are you going to send those?
I don't have the W-2s in front of me. I have the pay stub, my current pay stub in front of me. The W-2s, I got to do my homework and I got to call all my previous employers from 21, 22, 23, and 20, get all those the W-2s and get those documents with me. I
Okay.
don't have the documents right now. Not saying
Okay,
to
well,
you I cannot get it. I
whenever
will
you
get
get
it for you,
them,
but I
you
don't
have
have
to,
a copy of my current pay stub from Pepsi that says.
whenever you get them, you do need to
But
send
what I'm
them
saying is,
in.
why should?
So
But how fair is it for me to pay $915 a month, which I'm not making that
that's
same
for
amount of
me to
money
decide
without?
after I hear all the evidence, but I don't have all the evidence. You
Okay.
don't have all the evidence. You don't want to come back, but I don't see how else to do it if you want me to hear it, and I don't kick you up to district court. Again, we already spent what, 30 minutes on this, and I've gotten nowhere closer, 22 minutes to be exact. The state has yes, an email where you send all this stuff, and you can't find a different device or a different way of scanning it or going to I don't know, somewhere that has better.
Well, like I said, I can send it again and see if it goes through again, but
Well,
hold on for a moment.
it's too late for today. I don't need it for today, but when you send the W-2s, however you send them, you send that pay stub too, the year-to-date pay stub that's closer to the court
I
date.
sent all my documents certified mail. I sent all my documents that you guys received as far as my doctor's note from my physician saying that when I'm supposed to go back to work, when I'm released. Every other documents I'm sending to you guys is certified mail, which I mailed it to you guys and you guys received it. So if I have to do the same thing with my W-2s and my pay stub, I will do that also. But right now, my thing is coming from is with Mrs. Garcia. I was making the same amount of money in California and Texas as a meat manager. I'm not a meat manager. There's not that much openings on the island that
Okay,
has a
you
million
want to get
people
to the
on the
argument of
island.
your case, and that's not where I'm at right now. So, Mr. Asif, have you received a certified mail envelope with all this stuff and you still have it? I assume y'all don't get rid of documents, or at least not right away.
So I can confirm we have his W-2 for 2023. I can confirm that we have a pay stub from August of 2023 as well. Nothing as of today, I believe, nothing with respect to what his wages would be from his current employer.
What about the medical records that he said he had, doctors, something or other?
Medical records pertaining to his heart condition. I'm not certain, Your Honor. Let me take a look, see.
Judge, FYI, screenshots can be emailed.
Thank you.
Okay, so I can email you the screenshot right now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Well,
I'm
what
gonna
number
do
is
that
he
right
gonna
now.
use, Mr. Asif? Because, well, email, that's right. The CSD legal one?
That would
Let
be
me go
the
write that
appropriate one,
information.
yes.
Hold on for a moment, man.
No, don't take your
What is
time
that?
doing it. I'm gonna set and give a different court date. I don't need it today. I need the one closer to another one. Do you have that one? Send it, fine, but not right now. That's gonna take too much time. Mr. Asif, did you find medical records? As part of the document?
Pertaining to his condition, no, Your Honor. I'm looking through our records as we speak.
I sent you guys certified mail and you guys received it because you guys signed for it, stating that when I'm released, when was my surgery from Dr. Nakamura.
When did you do that? What day did you send it? Do you remember?
I sent it, man, I don't remember. I sent it maybe a month ago. I sent it with the documents that I had to fill out stating that, you know what I mean, or it was a document from the court that it was 2 pages that I had to fill out and send it back to you guys, which I did that. And also I put in a copy of my paper from the physician saying that when I went in for surgery and what is my release date. I sent in a copy of my unemployment, which I applied for and got denied for it. I sent you guys a copy of that 2 pieces of paper from you guys, and somebody signed for it at the courthouse because it was at the child support office because they are sending certified mail.
Okay, when you say
And if you
courthouse,
want, I can
and you
show
said
my,
you send it
my
to the AG, those
no,
are two different places,
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Paco.
I send it to the child support office and they have it.
Okay,
Somebody
they're
at the
not the
child
court, they're
support
not the
office signed
courthouse.
for it.
They have a different address.
Right.
That's where you send it to their mailing address.
Okay.
You gotta separate us. They're
Yes.
not the same place.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Asif, you're looking and looking, you still haven't found his
Okay.
medical?
No, Your Honor, I'm still looking.
Well, I can't wait for that either, but it would be important. Ms. Garcia, are you disputing that he even had a heart attack or open heart surgery? Is that gonna be an
No,
issue?
he had a heart attack, but just because he had a heart attack doesn't mean that his kids need stop. You know, it's
No,
going on.
no,
It's
but it
going on
does
9
mean that he
months
might
that I
not have
haven't
had income for a period of time. So do you?
Okay, then
You need
what's
to see
what's
those
the
medical
excuse?
records or not, Ms. Garcia? To believe
What was that?
anything? You need to see those medical records?
For the heart attack?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to see when he was actually released, to be honest with you.
Well, I would assume that would be a part of it. Mr. Rocco, is that, you would have sent it after your hospitalization and it would have said what day you were released on?
And the documents that I sent to the court
To
from
the AG's
from
office, not the
surgeon-
courts.
No, I'm sorry. The documents that I sent to the child support office specifically states what day I got operated on, what day, April the 3rd, 30th, I got operated on, and it says specifically on August the 5th when I'm released to go back to work. That's
That's a
what it says
different
on the
date of,
documents.
a
But if
date
you
of
guys want, I
release
can,
from the hospital. Is that part of the information that you sent? I assume so, that you didn't send it
that,
from a line in a hospital bed, did you? I mean, you waited till you got out and the
no,
records that you got would have had your discharge date. That's what she's asking for. Is that in there?
not the only documents that I sent to the child support office, because she did not ask me for the information. The piece of paper that I sent to the child support office specifically states is when did I get operated on April the 30th, and what day am I released to go back to work from the physician,
There's
because
an
she wants me to pay the arrears.
intervening date of no longer being in a hospital bed or in a hospital, and that would have been a discharge date from the
I
hospital,
stayed
not just
I
a
stayed in the
release
hospital.
date to go back to work. That should be part of your medical records. Are you saying it's just not? It skips from your heart surgery up to your release to work?
The reason why I send her the dates that I'm still not released from the doctor is because she's asking me for the arrears. That's the document.
Look, I get that, but one of the issues too is what date were you out of the hospital, and you can't tell me if you know that date or not. Do you understand?
I was in the hospital. I had surgery on April the 30th. I was released 5 days later.
You were only in the hospital 5 days.
5 days.
Okay.
5 days later, I was released to the hospital.
Okay, you're
from the
under oath
hospital.
and you're on the record, so write that down, Ms. Garcia or State. Okay, Mr. Asif, no, nothing, you didn't find the medical records?
No, ma'am. We may have it, but I'm not
Okay.
certain.
Okay, well then help me pick a date to come back, because it's already 4:20 and it's clear and you need more time than we've got today.
Yes, Your Honor. We have availability on our October 10th court date at 8:30.
Is there any reason y'all can't come back? And they have to be a priority, not at the end of the day, the first thing.
Yes,
I'm
Your
not
Honor.
gonna do this again.
I'll be sure to include in the reset order. It will be a priority hearing.
Then it should be well, it says 8:30 for y'all to come in, and if you need to share records at that point or whatever else, or talk for a minute, you can do that. But I show up at 9 o'clock to start a hearing. Well, actually, I'm here before then, but I won't start hearings till 9 o'clock when they're done with the.
Does that work in Hawaiian time?
No, because it's 5 hours behind you guys. So it'll be, if it's 8:30, it would be at 3 o'clock in the morning.
We could do 10 a.m. as well. Our only
10:30?
docket times would be 8:30 and 10 a.m. Central Time.
So 10:30, our time would be what time his time? 5 o'clock?
5:30.
Your Honor, it would be 10 a.m. exactly.
Well, that would make
If
it 5
it's
o'clock his
10:30 on
time.
you guys' time, it's 5:30 on our time. It's 5 hours behind.
When did they show up today, Mr. Ossie, Mr. Ako?
I woke up at 5:30 in the morning. I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to court. And that's what time I woke up this morning to go to court.
So if I say 1 o'clock, that would be what time? Eight?
7. No, 8.
8 o'clock your time? There's no reason you can't be up and on the computer by 8 a.m., correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, then it'll be October 10th. In a few weeks on a Thursday at 1 o'clock p.m. as a priority. And that would
Now-
give me enough time to hear it and hopefully
Now
get rid of
from-
the other cases before y'all show up.
So from my knowledge, Your Honor, what kind of documents you need from me when I show up to court on the next month in October?
Well, we've been talking about, do I have to repeat W-2s for 2021, 2022? They said they have 2023, but if I were you, I'd send it again in case something happens to it. But 3 years worth, that would be the 3 years subsequent to after the divorce and the ones that you would have W-2s for.
So on that knowledge, Your Honor, I'm in Hawaii, and the jobs that I worked at to attain the W-2s is all the way in California. And like I said, I would have to call the places that I work at to arrange them to send me a W-2s and arrange a copy of the W-2s.
You
to
know who has
Hawaii.
your W-2s? The IRS, and you should have filed tax return. But they send W-2s to the IRS. I don't know if you can get it from them, but it's on you to try to find them. And that's why you're supposed to file taxes. If you want me to consider your income, I don't know how you prove it and talk to somebody, but all I can tell you is if you have W-2s, you need to try to get them. They only have one so far. And then for this year, there is no W-2. You have to work till the end of the year and you won't get the W-2 till January next year. So for this year, your year-to-date pay stub, as close to the court date as possible, you email it.
So my question to you is, I want to know the logical behind it of 2021, 22, 23, when the bottom line is that that's all wages.
Because
In
the
California and
last
Texas.
order that was entered that I'm trying to modify is the divorce decree from 2021. And what's relevant is all the time period since then. She's alleging you were making higher wages then and that you're underemployed now. Yes, I would have to see the higher wages. I'm not going to take her word for it or your word for it. I want to see what you actually made. And then for the pay stub helps me go through all the way to the court date so I can see obviously the lesser income now, but I have to buy into your argument that you had to move to Hawaii, you went underemployed or that you weren't underemployed and that you, I don't know what your reason is, but why you're not at the same job you were, and maybe your heart attack has something to do with it. I don't know. I've got to hear everything you present. And you need to have backup for everything you present because I'm tired of this he says, she says that y'all don't really know what you're talking about. And I don't have any records. I'm just tired of it. And this case has been here long enough to where I think you need to provide documents, Mr. Ako. It's your income. Ms. Garcia, if you have anything else you can find, because if he doesn't show up with it, I'm not creating it.
income.
I can't get it for you. I am not your investigator. I'm your judge, but you have to provide evidence, not me for you. I don't have access to anything.
Your Honor, nobody told me at the last hearing that we was on that I got to supply W-2s from 2021.
Well, I'm telling you now because a big contested issue. And before y'all appeal me to another court, I want them to know I did my homework, that I required it, that I got to look at it, or whatever reason you may have is not available, that at least I forced you to try to bring it, because I'm not doing my job if I just say, okay, I'll take your word for it. No, I'm not. And Ms. Garcia, you're alleging something. I don't know if you can prove it or not if he doesn't, but on the other hand, it's your case to try to prove why he's underemployed too. And so understood. Okay, then I'm not repeating myself. And if you want me to consider your medical records and they don't have them, then I think you need to send them again, including your discharge date, or I assume nobody's going to dispute that he was only in the hospital 5 days anyway, if it doesn't show up on a piece of paper. So Mr. Asif, I'll ask your office, and I don't know what you do with all those things that are emailed to you, where they go, but I assume you don't dispose of them till the cases are over. So I'm hoping it's somewhere that you just can't access right now, but it's some screen somewhere that you can find. But talk to the AG. If they don't find it, then yeah, send it again. I'm sorry, but it's cheaper than trying to fly over here to go to district court. If you want me to hear it, I need some evidence. Is there anything
As
else? the
far
state
as the
committee wants
temporary
us to ask?
order,
Yes, ma'am. I'm not
As far as
changing
the
anything. I
temporary-
don't have time to hear it anymore to change it, so it still goes on. However, Ms. Garcia, well, I heard, was it a contested hearing on the temporary order, or was y'all agreed to it?
It was
I
a
want
contested hearing, Your Honor.
It was? I don't even remember it, but okay, fine. I'll look for my records too.
I'm just asking
Anything
that it
else, Ms.
stays the
Garcia?
same for right now.
You had your hand up, Mr. Asif. What else did?
Your Honor, yes. May I retrieve my charger so I can charge my device?
Your what?
May I retrieve my charger, Your Honor?
Oh, yeah. So you don't get dismissed? Yes.
Thank you.
Judge, I'll update you with results. I gotta go.
Yeah, either tell me tomorrow or email.
Yeah,
me
tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that would be
before-
fine. Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez.
I'm sorry.
No problem. It's not an issue.
Now, Your Honor, if I have to consult an attorney, how does
Please
that work?
do. That would help me if a lawyer,
Seems like,
what's the
now can
question?
we extend this court did a little further for me to pay for an attorney and retain an attorney? Because I consulted with an attorney, and then he said that if it goes more than what it's supposed to go, and I'm under pressure to get whatever I need to get, that he'll be able to consult with him more.
Well, it doesn't bother me to set it later, so y'all are better prepared and have a lawyer. And it shouldn't bother you, Ms. Garcia, if you've got a temporary order in place that's not being changed. So is
If
there?
he has the money to consult with an attorney and hire an attorney, why is he having trouble paying his child support?
That's not the issue before me. The issue before me is if he can get a lawyer, I'd prefer him to get a lawyer to present actual evidence instead of him trying to flounder around and me trying to guess what's the truth is. So
Okay, so he's stalling right now. So I'm asking to keep the October 10th date because I
That's
have open enrollments and whatnot coming up, and it's starting in the end of October through
a
December.
court order trumps the open enrollment. If there's a court order and it orders something, then that's a qualifying event to
I'm
start.
the only one that's supporting our kids right now.
I get that, Ms. Garcia, but I'm telling you, a court order is a qualifying event, even if you miss open enrollment. You can still
Whenever
have
you
it
oversee
changed.
an entire agency, that's my role. So that's why I'm October 10th. I have nothing going on that week but preparing, so that's doable.
How likely are you to get a lawyer? Or just take more time to get back here, Mr. Rocco, without a lawyer.
Well, I just need to verify I just want to get as much information that knowing that, you know what I mean, that and take the consideration that I was in open heart surgery, that I could not work, I was not released from the doctor. It's one thing that I was not, I was released from the doctor, but I was not released from the doctor. And that's why I sent that document to the child support office, because I want them to know from April the 30th to August the 5th, I was not able to go back to work. From the physician's standpoint, I was not released from the doctor to go back to work. So on that note, is why am I liable to pay my child support?
Your 45 minutes are up. I'm leaving. And Mr. Asif, do you have another recommended date? I'm going to move it from October 10th. If he can get a lawyer, I want him to. And I'm not talking about December or November, or maybe mid-November at the latest.
Yes, Your Honor. Let me just.
Your Honor, may I ask, why do you guys keep on giving him chance after chance? This isn't the first time that he's done this.
Ms. Garcia, this is not the day to hear this case at 4:30 in the afternoon already. I'm barely
Well, I
starting.
understand that, but whenever you've dealt with a child going through cancer, you've dealt with a kid that was attacked by a dog upon other health issues and whatnot, and I've been stuck to
So you think
do
today,
everything
right
on
now,
my
I would
own?
have raised your child support and raised your medical support? You really think I would have do that today
Yeah,
on
but what
the
I'm
limited
saying is
case?
that even the lack of support that he's been doing and I haven't been receiving, this isn't the first time.
This is not for payments. I'm going to order how much is the right amount if the temporary order isn't right. So this is not about him paying or not paying. He's still required to do that under any order. This is about getting it right now. And you all are both arguing two extremes. And I don't have enough except your word right now. And that's why I'm requiring more evidence. And if I give more time for better evidence, it would be in your interest if you can bring, or he can't produce the records and you can versus the other way around. So I'm sorry, I've got to do what I've got to do, whether you like it or not. And right now I'm done. Mr. Asif, was there another date way before December?
Yes, Your Honor. I got logged out of my organization's VPN. May I retrieve my cellular device so I can log back in and retrieve the list of court dates?
Yes, sir, sure.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, we have availability on November 14th.
They're all Thursdays. That's when I hear Hayes cases for the party's information. And I could do the same thing at 1 o'clock as a priority, Mr.
We can't do 1 p.m., Your Honor. The only times we have available are 8:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. or 10:30 a.m.
No, that's because I set those times for my calendar, but I'm telling you, I want it at 1 o'clock so he can show up without having to wake up at 5 in the morning. Nobody else was asked to do that. And so that he's, I guess, hopefully clear-headed, and that we start because we finished the morning docket. So I don't care what your computer says or what anybody else says. My docket, I'm setting it as a priority at 1 o'clock. And
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
put the order to say that, and for y'all to be ready to go, don't negotiate 2 hours or 3 hours or 5 hours. I need to have it ready to go, and y'all prepared, everybody prepared at 1 o'clock on November 14th. And hopefully I will be done with all the other settings prior to that.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, so I would like to confirm that 9:15 is gonna stand as well as the amount for the medical expenses.
I didn't touch the temporary order. I'm not changing it today. So right now it does continue under the last order, which is that's the temporary order. Then yes, ma'am, it does continue.
Okay, can I please make sure that the amount for the medical is included on top of that, please?
Mr. Asif, I don't know what the order says. I haven't read it. She's told me what she thinks it says. Are you confirming this, what she's just said?
Your Honor, if Ms. Garcia's position is for the terms of the temporary order to remain in place, I mean, that is precisely what's going to happen if you reset this.
Well,
matter.
I don't agree with that. What happens if I don't agree with?
I'm
Because it's not
resetting
what
you
I'm-
so you
I'm
can bring
making
in evidence, even if you don't agree with it, because I'm not hearing it right now. It's too late to hear it. I'll be here till 10 o'clock tonight if I open the door to this,
So-
or even 8 o'clock. I'm not doing it. I've already had a very long
So
day, and I'm very not
fair is
I'm
that
not
for me
able
to
to go
pay?
forward.
Then you know what? Let's just keep the October date because I'm not going to pay $900 something a month, which I'm on. Not
Okay,
making that
then
amount of
you
money.
do your homework, you get a lawyer as quick as you can if you're gonna do that, and you get your W-2s, and then we'll be ready to go October 10th at 1 o'clock. That's fine. And I'm not gonna repeat the order because I don't have the order, so whatever it says, it's a temporary order, ma'am. It's signed, it's on the record, it continues. I don't know what more you need to hear from me. I'm
Here's
done.
the, here's
That
the,
concludes this
here's,
hearing.
here's the
Ma'am?
deal, because what happened was with the medical is that he was refusing to pay the amount, the
I'm-
amount that you guys had ordered.
Ma'am, I reset it. Nothing
Well,
else you can
but
say is
here's the
gonna
di-
change the order that's already in effect.
Oh my God. If you let me finish, please, because what we did is that we took the girls off of my insurance that they had been on, that I had been paying for previously, because he was not gonna pay the amount that was being asked for. And he was able to get it cheaper through his employer, which was fine, but he can't hold down a job to keep the girls on insurance.
I'll hear it October 10th. I can't change it today, just like you don't want me to change the child support and he wants to change. I can't change it either way. I didn't finish hearing the evidence. I'm not going to finish hearing the evidence. I need to hear it on October 10th. I'll leave the
Okay,
original
can you
date
put
at
something
1
in there,
o'clock.
at least $400 for the medical expenses for right now? To be included, because right now it's 800
I
and something
can't change the order without having a full-blown hearing. What part have you not understood, Ms. Garcia? I'm not going forward right now. So you get to keep the higher child support, then it gets to stay with whatever insurance is said. I haven't modified it yet. I haven't heard the evidence to modify it yet. I'm resetting this. That's all I'm doing is resetting it. So what's in effect is in effect, and I'll hear it October 10th at 1 o'clock. That's what I can tell you. Anything else, Mr. Asif?
Your Honor, I'm requesting that we hold the hearing at at either 8:30 or 10:30 a.m. Mr. Ako was the one who chose to move to Hawaii, knowing that he could possibly be in court for this. So I feel as if that would not be proper to have at 1 p.m.
Why not?
Mr. Ako was the one who chose to move to Hawaii, knowing that he had a court date.
I'm talking about my docket, Mr. Asif.
Yes, Your Honor.
Cases earlier with might be 20 cases. I got to get those done before I talk to these people.
Yes, Your
If I
Honor.
talk to these people at 8:30 or 10:30, then I'm postponing 20 other cases. I can't do that either. This is my setting at 1 o'clock. I don't care that he's in Hawaii. I'm gonna let him sleep like everybody else gets to.
Yes, Your Honor.
So it's gonna stay at 1 o'clock whether the state objects or not. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
I'm done. Bye. Y'all check out and we'll see you October 10th at 1 o'clock. You have any questions, you call the AG. You cannot call the court. And bring
That was
evidence,
October
both of you.
10th, Your Honor?
What?
Just to clarify the date, that was October 10th, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. October 10th at 1 o'clock.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
The parties have exited the virtual courtroom. That concludes this hearing. I'll stop my recordings.
I love every one of you. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.